for watching. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a drugstore back to school makeup look, and I did a back to school look either last year or the year before. I will leave that linked up here. Today I'm going to keep it very simple again, but I'm going to give it more of a matte finish, so it's going to be more long wearing and perfect for school really. I want to keep it realistic for you guys because I know how important sleep is, especially at 7 o'clock in the morning. All you want to do is quickly do your face and get the hell out. I know. I love my sleep. I know exactly how you guys feel. Even though I'm a makeup artist and I work on a makeup counter, if I had to choose between sleep and makeup, I would choose sleep every single time. So I know how you guys feel. Also, this is going to be a talk through video, something I haven't done before, so I'm really excited. And before we get into the video as well, please don't forget to subscribe. I will leave it right here on the screen. To start off, we're going to prime because we want to make sure that our makeup does not budge for the entire day. So I'm going to go with the L'Oreal Blur Cream. This is great for filling out any fine lines or pores, smoothing out your skin, evening out your complexion, and also just keeping your makeup in place for the day. So my main issue would be discoloration under the eyes and also the odd breakout here and there. Especially when you guys go back to school, you know, you'd be up early every morning, you're stressed out, you have exams, you have projects and all that good stuff. So it's going to take a toll on you, you're going to look tired. If you want more information on color correctors, I will leave my dedicated video right up at the top of the video. It's definitely something to look into or to educate yourself on, because a color corrector is going to do what your foundation and your concealers cannot do. And anytime I mention this to customers at work, they instantly buy a color corrector because they're like, wow, no one ever told me before. And then when I tried on them, they're like, wow, my dark circles are completely gone. Start with, gonna go with pink for under the eyes. So pink is gonna cover all that darkness for me. So I have a little bit of redness around my nose and I have a couple of breakouts as well. So I'm just going to be taking the green color corrector right here and just popping this right around my nose. And you don't have to worry about blending it out because you will be putting your foundation on top. If you need a lot of a color corrector, then you can simply dust a very light dusting of translucent powder over it before you put on your foundation, which is just going to set it in place, so it doesn't slip and slide when you put your foundation on top. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Match Perfection foundation, and I haven't been using this for a couple of months because I've been using my Ride or Die foundation, which is the L'Oreal True Match, every single day. And I love it because it's light, it's buildable up to like medium coverage, and it's dewy, it's fresh, it's summery, and it's quite long lasting as well. However, I find that the Rimmel Match Perfection just lasts that little bit longer for me, and it's a little bit more of a matte formula, even though it's still quite hydrating for my dry skin or my dry areas. I've been getting really oily on my T-zone lately, but I just find that this just lasts that teeny weeny bit longer for me. So if I'm going for an all day matte makeup look, I'm going to go for my Rimmel Match Perfection. Now I know a couple of people have issues with this, it's kind of hit or miss. It does definitely work for me. I'm going to be using my Blank Canvas Cosmetics F20 as per usual and stippling it on to the face to get the right coverage, to get the right amount of coverage that I need, and then buffing it out into the skin when I'm happy with that amount of coverage I have. So bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Moving on to concealer, I'm going to be using my NYX concealer. This is the HD one and it's in 01, I believe, the palest shade possible, because I always like to go brighter under the eyes. Again, to cover the discoloration, brighten the under eyes and really make your eyes pop. So I always go lighter with my concealer every time. So I'm just going to pop this under. And the trick to hiding dark circles is to bring it past. So I know some people ask me in my videos why I bring my concealer down so far, and that is the reason. So bring it right down to the corner of your nose and up to the corner of your eye like this. I'm just going to be buffing this out using the Blank Canvas F40. Another way I like to buff it out is to use a sponge. But I'm kind of doing the same technique I would do if I was using a sponge. I'm kind of stippling it into the skin, so it's kind of giving the same finish. But I just find this brush is really handy for concealer because it's so tiny and it's got that dome kind of tip, if you can see that. So it's just perfect. I'm going to go very gentle with the brush. You don't have to, you know, just like very lightly buff it out. flawless. So I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Matte Mineral Powder, and this is actually a foundation, so you can wear it on its own. However, I feel it just doesn't give me enough coverage on its own, but on top of another foundation it just gives a beautiful, beautiful flawless finish and sets everything in place so it literally does not budge. And I like that it's really convenient, so if you are going to school, then you can just pop it in your handbag too. If you are really oily and you need to top up throughout the day, then something like this will be really handy for you, because you have your little brush and then you screw up the top and you have the powder inside, so you just dip the brush into the powder and buff it all over the face. So you can see that just gives a beautiful flawless finish. So next, moving on to eyebrows. My ride or die is like my benefit powder, and I literally just don't buy eyebrow products because of that reason. So yeah, this was a struggle. So Kiss Cosmetics eyebrow powder it is. And then to set it in place, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Brow This Way Brow Gel Setter thingamajig. So yes. If you don't like to use too much product on your brow, also get one of those brow gels, those tinted brow gels, like Essence have one or Benefit have one, that you can just quickly fill in your brows. I'm going to be using the Rimmel's Natural Bronzer in 22 Sun Bronze, and I've mentioned this product in a couple of dupe videos. This is the perfect dupe for MAC's Give Me Sun. It's not like a contour bronzer, it's just a very natural bronzy bronzer. I also love that this bronzer is waterproof and it's got an SPF of 15, so guys, it's literally not going to budge for you. I mean, you can go gymming it and sweat, you can cry, and this baby ain't going nowhere, so it's perfect for school. I'm going to be using the Blank Canvas F04 brush for this. It's a goat hair brush, so it's great for holding on to product and buffing it out. I'm going to make my fishy face. I'm going to keep the top corner at the top of my ear, buffing down, and then I'm going to blend it upwards. Now, you don't have to worry about this too much because, like I said, it's more of a bronzer than a contour, but I just want to give a little bit of definition to my face as well. So that is why I'm doing this technique. I really could have done with this bronzer when I was in school, like really, because I used to never do my homework and I used to be sweating. If you want your makeup to last 12 plus hours, I highly recommend baking. I know this seems like a lot of steps, and that's because it is, because you want your makeup to last the entire day. However, you can choose to leave out some of these steps. I'm just recommending everything that's going to make your makeup last for you. I'm going to be using my Blank Canvas Cosmetics contour kit for this, and I'm going to be using these two shades here. I just like to mix them because I find the white is too bright for me. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of just like twirling it around and lifting the powder up, so you can see, look, it's really powdery right now, and this just kind of turns it into a loose powder, and loose powder is great for baking. I'm just going to be focusing my baking powder on the areas that I have issues with. So that's going to be under the eyes, around my nose, my forehead, which is the worst, and I'm also going to put a little bit just under my bronzer I put on earlier, and this is just going to really define my face. The whole idea behind baking is that you're applying too much powder, you're leaving it set or bake into the skin or cook into the skin for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I go ahead and fill in my brows or put on my mascara, and by the time I'm done, then my powder is set, dusted off, good to go. The girls in work are always asking me why I never have to top up throughout the day, and that is literally because I have my routine down to a T. I know exactly what works for me, and I think that baking plays a huge part in that. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Max Volume Mascara Plus, and I'm just going to be very gently like combing my lashes. If I wiggle my lashes, I end up plumping them and sticking them together. I'm actually just going to go in with a little bit of my bronzer, and I'm just going to pop this right into the crease, just for a little bit of definition in my eyes, just so they're not so bare. This is a great dupe from MAC Peaches, and I'm going to be using my F15 brush for this. So I'm just going to dust off the excess. And I very rarely use blush these days, but I'm just going to pop a little bit on my cheek and dusting out towards the top of my ear. I know I'm going for an overall matte look, but of course I cannot forget my highlight because my highlight always has to be popping. And I also came to the conclusion that I have a very bad collection of drugstore highlighters. So I'm going to have to make do with what I have. I'm going to use the Makeup Geek Shimma Shimma eyeshadow as my highlighter, and this is actually an amazing highlighter, to be fair. Yeah, so I'm just going to buff it out with the F15 brush because it's a little bit too popping for me. One of the best tips I can give you for using matte liquid lipsticks is to use a lip liner underneath and fill out your entire lips. Make sure it's really creamy, and also apply a base beforehand, either a lip primer or a lip balm, to make sure that your lips are really smooth. So apply your lip balm before you apply your makeup, and then by the time you get to your lips it will be all completely dried in. Okay, and then the last step is to set everything in place with a setting spray. This is the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. I don't think it gives a dewy finish, but it is a great setting spray, so I definitely recommend it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this very long-lasting matte back to school makeup look. Of course, you can add your own twist and style to it, add a different lip color, or if you want to add something to your eyes, then that would be really awesome as well. This is just my take on a realistic back to school makeup look because we don't have all the time in the world in the mornings. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Hey guys, today's look is very subtle and polished. Perfect for work or for a job interview where makeup needs to be minimal but classy and sophisticated.